Okay, so I'm gonna just read this off again here. So we have, oops. So the 7 kingdoms of God. Okay, there'll be King Trump, but he's going to be replaced by King John F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, and then we have the Spanish King. Okay, then we got King Xi. Okay, Xi Jinping, which is Kingdom 3. King Xi. Kingdom 4, which will be King Putin. King 5, which will be King MBS, which is the Kingdom of the Sun and the Crescent, Middle East Africa. Then we got Kingdom 6, which is Kingdom Modi. Okay, that is India. Okay. And then we have Kingdom 7, which is the Brazilian king, and I guess to be announced. And like it says, England, the independent territory, England, a self-governed entity with no king. So you're going to be free with a universal income, and that's, I guess, based on what the Bible has said, right? The QR code, that's a... don't get too involved in anything, right? I mean, like I says, we got to watch the buttons we push, because you can get yourself into trouble, especially at this time. Space Force is watching over things very, very closely. And, there has been absolutely thousands of Canadians and Americans and Europeans that have been ripped off and scammed for millions of dollars. And, this is what they're trying to stop right now, trying to catch all of it right now. What am I saying about the countries? There's going to be 7 kingdoms. And like I said, I will do a video after this, reading all that out again. So if you're from England, you're not going to have a king or any type of leadership to have to govern you. You're going to be free, sovereign individuals, and as long as you don't go out there and harm anybody, you'll have live a wonderful life. There won't be any like in any other kingdom. You're not going to have a tax. You're not going to have any mortgage payments. You're not going to have gasoline's going to be very cheap, and food's going to be pure, and all the vegetables will have none of these GMS bullshit in it. So it's going to be like all the other kingdoms. But I guess I don't know the full reason behind England being its own its own country. I have no idea about how that is, but it sounds really good, right? Well, Ecuador is going to, it's all part of the Brazilian kingdom. And it's only going to be just fine. The borders are all going to come down, folks. Like I say, you're going to be inside your kingdom. So, I mean, it's not like you cannot travel. If you wanted to go from Canada or United States to England or vice versa, or, flop over to Germany or whatever, there won't be a passport. There'll be maybe your picture of, or your frequency. You'll be able to, that will declare who you are, type thing. And I think it's, this frequency thing is a really good idea, because it's going to get rid of all the bad guys. They won't be able to fucking hide through phony, fraudulent, or counterfeit passports, or counterfeit money, or counterfeit. And all that counterfeit's going to go. So, it's going to be more, more recognized. Yeah, Venezuela's going to do just fine. Right now, they're cleaning out all the gut. They're cleaning the guts out of it right now. All the dirty, the swamp is deep, It's ugly, it's dirty, it's smelly, and this is what the patriots are doing right now. They're digging it out, and the leftists are absolutely losing their mind. They have no concept of what's going on. They're very disgusting people, and we got to recognize that. And the scammers that come on and try to take money from you, even at this point right now, call them out, whoever they are. Tell them that they're absolute parasites, and they're a disgusting piece of humanity, if they are even if they are human. Who knows, right? Yeah, John F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah, he's going to be the new king of the Western Kingdom. Trump's going to step down, and he might be ambassador of the world, maybe to do with all the monies, the money being distributed and stuff like that. But it's time for him to retire off. So, but he's gonna finish what he started, which is put everything into place, and he's going to set everything up. But it's going to be up to the alliance and the younger Jedi's out there to stand guard and protect our sovereignty. What will happen in Canada? Well, many good things. You're not going to pay taxes no more. The land that you own now or having to pay mortgage on will be free. And if you don't have land, you'll have money to buy land, and you won't have any taxes on it. There'll be a one-time new tax on essentials only, or non-essentials, which will be, like if you want a new house or something like that, they have to pay 14% on that. But after that's a one-time tax that goes on that, and from there on in, there won't be any tax placed to you. The big pharma will disappear. You want to be healed, you just go into a med bed and heal yourself. That's it. Everybody's going to have one. It's going to be like owning a car. It's going to be like owning, having a TV. Everybody's going to have one. And the med beds they're not really, it's high technology, these med beds, but basically, really, when you think about it, it's just frequency. If you get into the right frequency, it heals your body. So it's really quite simple. Once you find that frequency of healing, your body starts healing. And it gets to such a point of these frequencies of what's happening, it age regresses, it gives you life extension. It's like, you call it whatever you want, but I call it, our dreams are finally coming true. So JF Kennedy will be king of the United States. JF Kennedy will be king of the Western Kingdom, plus the United States. He's going to be the king of Canada, Iceland, Greenland, so on and so forth, as the names that I had mentioned off, right? I'll just read them off to you again, so everybody knows, right? 1 second. So, King Trump to be replaced by King John F. Kennedy Jr. The Kingdom of the West, North America, that'll be Australia, the Pacific Islands, Greenland, and Iceland. Countries that are included in that will be North America, United States, and Canada. The Oceania countries that are inside that number one kingdom, which we are going to be the biggest kingdom, okay? We're going to have the most wealth of everything. Will be Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Solomon Islands, Samya. Sorry about that. Tonga, Vanuatu, Micronesia, Kiribati, Palau, Nauru, Tuvalu, Southeastern Asia, Philippines, Brunei, Eastern Timor, Arctic, Atlantic. So we got these Antarctica and Atlantic. Greenland and Iceland is the kingdom and the king emperor of the new world. That's all those names that are there. They're all one. Okay? We are called the number one kingdom. So, I hope that answers everything. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Can you talk more about the rainbow currency? There's not much to say about it, as that we're just waiting for it. It's already been printed. It's already stacked up on pallets, ready to go. There is probably they have a an ink marker on it for tracking, and it's gold laced in there to match the value of that particular bill, and they will be can't burn them because they're not paper. They're kind of like the Canadian dollar right now. Pretty fancy stuff. Lots of colors in it, and they're going to be virtually impossible to what do you call it? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get much sleep. For them to copy. So, they won't. It's going to be the beginning of the end of the cabal as we know it. Okay, they're coming down daily, and I really think that the money, the reason why it's being held up and nothing's really moving, and because they want to make sure that they have to get to a point. There's two things that have to go on here. They have to get to a point where humanity is awake, which I think, I think if anybody is not awake by now, they're not going to get awake. But, in other cases, I do see people awakening to, and seeing how pissed off they are. But there is a lot of NPCs out there and a lot of sleepers that, are just not tuned in. They have no frequency, so whatever. But to answer your question about the rainbow currency, it's nice to have. You'll be able to do lots of things with it, but just remember that the currency, I think, in time will just disappear. I think we're going to be dealing with the token because it's going to be a lot cleaner. And the reason why they're going to this money here and not paper is because it's not as dirty as paper money is, right? Paper money carries germs, and it's a terrible product. I mean, I see that when they take money, they don't not do too bad of a job when they clean the money here in the United States. But if you go to Asia, some of that old money, it's just so filthy you can't even accept it. It's so disgusting because they don't rotate them out, right? Send love. Now, you know what? I want to say something to everybody, all the patriots and Starseeds, light workers, freedom fighters. The more love that we bring out and show our love, okay, and our happiness and bring our frequencies up, the more they die. They need our, they need for us to be in fear, in stress. Worried about money and stuff like that. Don't worry, God's going to take care of all of us, okay? And nobody's going to go left out or be left out. You're here. Everybody that's here right now is with their family. This is our soul family that will be able to continue long after we receive our riches and fortune, okay? God wants this for us, and He will provide. He's going to provide this. You have survived the absolute Satan's wrath that has been going on, and he really wanted everybody to die, and it never happened. And that's why he's failed, and all his little minions still running around there with their heads chopped off, still don't realize how many days they have left, because it's all going to be, it's all going to be gone. They're going to be gone, because they won't be in the frequency that we're in. We have to raise our frequency, okay? And then once our frequencies, starts gelling and starts happening, the momentum itself will basically chase away all the demons. Yes, I mean, hey, we all hate germs. Trump hates germs too. But I think this isn't about up to him. But the new money, the new gold back, if you want to call it rainbow currency, is made from a type of synthetic that will not burn, and it's very extremely hard to fold. So when? Well, all I'm saying is I brought my motorhome down because I'm going to be leaving within this month maybe, and but I brought the motorhome because I think that I might not be able to make the plane, because I think the EBS can go off anytime. It can go off tonight. There's certain score dates that we're assuming maybe will be a trigger to set it off. I don't know. There's also, we have to remember, is this scare event is going to be applied or in play, because the sleepers, no matter how awake or not awake they are, they have to be they have to have this scare event. And I believe that the World War III scare event is still to come.